This video is covering my Mossberg 835 turkey gun, notably with a factory choke. I'm going to pattern 4 different types of ammo. So this is the second video that I made on this. First video, a lot of people gave me helpful comments that I should get a better choke. I find that frustrating because I feel like Mossberg should be able to produce a choke that is tighter patterning at the 40-yard range. So I tested 3 types of Winchester Long Beard, and then Super X and number 4s and number 5s, and I previously tested the Remington Nitro Turkey, and I'm throwing that in this video as well. We'll start with the best one first, which was the Winchester Long Beard number 5 shot. And also interesting to note is that the Long Beard produced noticeably less recoil when shot compared to the Super X loads. 25 yards, the pattern was tight, very tight. I didn't count the pellets. Most of them were inside of a 10-inch circle at 25 yards. This might be problematic in that you will have to make sure you're holding your point of aim because you could miss, but very tight pattern. Longbeard at 40 yards was acceptable. I don't know what good patterns look like. Maybe this is better. 88 pellet strikes inside of a 10-inch circle. And Longbeard at 50 yards producing 80 pellets inside of a 10-inch circle. Now these are not scientific groups. I only put one shot down range for each one, but it gives you an idea of what this is capable of. So in my mind, I think Winchester Long Beard is an acceptable round for shooting a turkey out at 40 to 50 yard range, and that's the load I'm going to be taking into the woods this year. My only hesitation with this load is that it is a very tight printing load closer in, and just kind of be mindful of shooting something close in and make sure really aim and control that trigger pull. The Remington Nitro Turkey number 5s was second best. This is from testing in my first video. This load put 200 pellet strikes in a 10-inch circle at 25 yards. And honestly, if you're going to be shooting turkeys in that approximate range, this would be a better choice than the Longbeard, because there's some margin of error when you shoot. You can close is good enough, and it's going to be harder to miss. As with the Longbeard, you've got to be dead center because the pattern's so tight. And at 40 yards, 60 pellet strikes inside of a 10-inch circle. And beyond 50, there's no use counting because the pattern was gone. So pretty marginal at 40 yards, nice at 25, marginal at 40, really nothing there at 50. In third place was the Winchester Super X number 5 shot. This load patterned 186 pellet strikes inside of a 10-inch circle at 25 yards. So like the Remington load, this is pretty solid load at 25 yards. And kind of lame 66 pellet strikes at 40 yards into this 10-inch circle. I didn't bother testing at 50 yards. And 4 of 4 is the Winchester Super X number 4 shot. 118 pellets into a 10-inch circle at 25 yards. It wasn't actually shooting point of aim, but I didn't feel like re-zeroing my red dot to test this out. And at 40 yards, 58 pellet strikes inside of a 10-inch circle. I didn't bother testing at 50. So like I said up front, Winchester Long Beard was the best of the 4 I tested, That's what I'll be taking out this year. And I feel confident that that is a 40 to 50 yard shot that I'm capable of taking with that gun. And my only hesitation would be shooting something up close, because you'd have to really aim. And if I was going to expect to take shots around 25 yards in that range, I would probably take the Remington Nitro turkey load, just because it opened up quite nicely at 25 yards. It just didn't perform very well at 40, and it just wouldn't take a 50-yard shot, period. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Please consider hitting like. That would help my channel. I'll tell you about the gun. Mossberg 835. It's a stock gun. I put a rail on it and a SIG Romeo 5 red dot on it, and then it needed a little cheek riser as well for that. I found that the stock weld, the stock didn't really fit my cheek well, and shooting this gun using the sights that came off using the sights on the barrel with the stock, it would have been painful. I bought the gun because of the safety. I wanted a tang safety. I shoot left-handed, and one of my hunting rifles has a tang safety. I like them. The stock, I like tang safeties. The stock safety that came with the gun is kind of stunk, actually, and it wasn't well suited for holding the gun in the holding the gun with your aim on the target, and then putting using your thumb then to push the safety forward to take the gun off safe. Yeah, the stock safety wouldn't do that at all, so I needed this aftermarket safety, which is pretty nice. I found it annoying in that I felt like the stock safety should have been good enough, and I didn't need to spend extra money on this aftermarket safety. But it's a pretty nice setup now. If I was to do this again, I probably would not have purchased the Mossberg, and that's because the cheek weld, to use the iron sights, I'd have to get my cheek way down onto the stock, and then the gun would just hit me hard, and it would be painful to shoot in the stock configuration. That being said, now that I've got the red dot and the riser and the cheek pad and the safety on it, I think it's going to be fine. I find it annoying that the choke that came with the gun, even though it was a turkey choke, really didn't have that greater groups. I feel like any firearm manufacturer should be able to turn out precision parts and do the testing needed to come up with a nice a choke that works great. So frustrated with that. I think the gun's going to perform now. Like I said, if I'm going to take shots in the 25 to 35 yard range, I'll probably take these Remington loads, and then if I'm worried about taking shots a little bit further out, then I'm going to switch over to the Long Beard. At this point, I feel like the pattern is acceptable, and so I'm not planning on spending another $60 on an aftermarket choke. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave any helpful comments with the video, and if you're a turkey hunter, good luck.